Thank you for joining us today. Very glad to have you today for this ITWeb webinar brought to you by ITWeb and Arctic Wolf. We're going to be talking about the case for MDR, Managed Detection and Response, but it's going to be a broader conversation about cybersecurity operations. It's not a question of just dropping in some software. That used to be the case 20 years ago. Get some antivirus, make sure it runs on your machine, and you'll probably be safe. The thing is, though, hacks happen more because the attackers are being cunning. They are finding weak spots in your security. How do you protect against that? Because a standard piece of software does not that. You need a much broader approach. MDR really represents a ecosystem mindset. And this is also why MDR has not been very successful for a lot of companies, because they are not implementing it correctly. And it's usually not a technical problem. It starts at the top. It starts with a risk mindset.
There's the building the security culture with the extended staff to make them security savvy, to understand what risk is. But there's also security team and understanding who has the skills to actually manage the security posture for the customer. And both of these are very fundamental pieces. So when you talk to a security partner, you've got to make sure they're covering off these aspects. So covering off the skills that I don't have to manage my security posture and working in conjunction with the skills that you do have. And then providing security awareness training for the extended staff and what to look for. But it's really about reiterating what's happening in the market. MDR vendors should focus on collaboration. So it's not just about building my own and looking after my own. It's collaboration with the tools that you have in place and the in-house team for that customer. So how do we make them more efficient rather than replacing them? Comprehensive incident response needs to be built into the solution at every single layer that you're looking at. And it's all around a consultative approach, a SOC partner approach. And that third-party data sources is really key, because that helps me build more threat intelligence, but also helps me understand risk a lot quicker. Because if I'm looking at all these different sources and all these different security solutions, I can detect and respond a lot quicker to risk inside my organization. And AI and machine learning is key to everything that happens inside these solutions and managed detection, response, and SOC. But fundamentally, it's about making sure you balance the human and artificial intelligence and the value around it.
The number of observations that have come into our platform, which have resulted in X number of investigations by our SOC team, which resulted in X number of tickets and security outcomes back to our customers. All of that sort of information is trackable and reportable inside our service offering. And any security tool that we have a tight integration into or a parser for, we're able to pull a report on that. And this essentially drives what we call the security journey. So once we figured out where the gaps are in that security posture for that organization, each customer that comes on board to our services gets paired with named cybersecurity specialists. The security journey is all about advancing a customer security posture and hardening that customer's environment going forward.
When an attack happens, it can be devastating enough that they will realize they've made a bigger mistake. And then it's often too late, or at least very expensive to fix. But with that, thank you very much for joining us. This has been a webinar brought to you by ITWeb and Arctic Wolf, building the case for MDR, how MDR can secure your operations, but more specifically, building the case for security operations. How do we take that holistic approach and bring it all together to make sure you guys stay secure out there? With that, thank you very much for joining us. My name is James Francis. I was your host today. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you at the next one. Thank you. Goodbye.